Oh my god. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Alright. So they're loading back in already. No time to drink my water. No time to get up. No bathroom breaks. No nothing. Game 2. Let's do it. ASDF versus No Name Team. And they've changed their name again for this game. These two teams are absolutely horrible to cast for. Actually, they're really cool dudes, but like, they like to change their names. They sub in random players all the time. They change their names, and they have hard names to pronounce. It's just, it's brutal. It's brutal, my friends. Anyways, draft is going. Let's pop over there and get this show on the road. Bam. All right. So we've got Dave Stoonter, French people, versus ASDF. This is No Name Team down here. I guess they don't have a name, so they don't have... They're just using different names every game. Poor justification, IMHO, but whatever. Whatever, man, whatever. We're into it. Let's do it. Let's go. Doom and Shadow Fiend banned right off the start. I'm pretty sure those are the exact same as last game. If the Tusk and the Slardar are both banned out as well, that'll be exactly identical to game number 1's bans. So maybe looking towards a similar draft as it stands, but we'll see. Slardar banned, and the Wyvern is actually going to be the ban here. So Tusk is in the pool. That was banned out last time, so maybe we'll see a first pick Tusk here by ASDF if they're feeling a little bit saucy, if they want to pick that up for themselves. But yeah, we will see. We will see. I'm not going to start wildly speculating yet because there is just no information in this draft at the moment, but there's the Tusk. There's the Tusky. Cool. I really like Tusk. He's a very good kind of 4-position offlaner. Like, if you stick him with somebody, he just does insane amounts of work. You go Tusk Spirit Breaker, Tusk Slardar, Tusk Undying, Tusk anything that punches things is really good. You know, you can make a lot of really sick combos. So we'll see what ASDF go for with this, or if it's just going to kind of be a bit more of a strict 4-position support. Last game, they had that Night Stalker in the offlane that worked really well for him, so they might go for that as well. Tusk Night Stalker is another really good combo. But No Name Team picking up the Undying for themselves. I believe the Undying was on ASDF last game, so they're going to be working on... they're going to rein that in for themselves. Now, Wyvern banned out, so the only other really good Healy support is the Dazzle in the pool, and it does combo very well with the Undying, so we might see that picked up here as the next pick. Yeah, okay, so there's the Dazzle pick, and Darkseer is going to be the choice for ASDF. Now, Darkseer is one of the heroes I like a little bit less with that Tusk duo offlane, just because Darkseer just kind of... he doesn't hit as hard in, you know, that one combo punch. You know, if you get him in a snowball, you pull him into a fight, he turns on Ion Shell, and he does a little bit of damage over time, but if you have a mobile carry or somebody that can move away really quickly, like for example a Juggernaut who can spin, or an Anti-Mage who can blink, or a Phantom Lancer who can doppelwalk, it's really easy to kind of get away from that combo, and so the Tusk Darkseer doesn't really work against a lot of stuff. Whereas when you get a combo like a Tusk Slardar, you know, you snowball in, you get the crush, you get some attacks out, you throw the ice shards, and that's a guaranteed like 600-700 damage, all done in one combo right away. And that's before anyone can react or move away or do anything, and so it's a good way to run it. But the Darkseer doesn't quite offer that same utility, and so therefore I think this Tusk might actually be in another lane. If I'm not mistaken, I believe ASDF has run Tusk mid lane before. It's something I really like seeing out of him. It's very strong. Provided you have the right matchup, but it is very, very good. I think the Tusk in the 4-position kind of supporty role, the way they ran the Undying last game, where it was just kind of stacking and pulling and going for ganks where it could, that's probably the most realistic spot for the Tusk to end up. But they've got options in their draft right now, so we'll see what they end up doing. Night Stalker and Windranger are going to be the next two bans out. We saw No Name Team ban Windranger last game as well, so fearing that a little bit, especially with the Undying on the board. I mean, you can always focus fire that tomb and it just drops instantly, so definitely a pick to look out for. That Night Stalker, yeah, I can see why it's banned. ASDF might have wanted to pick it, but they've kind of already got their two beefier cores, and so I don't think the Night Stalker is a hero that they would have want to run with the lineup they have. It would have been very strong with the Undying, so they're going to make sure that that's out of the pool, and the Huskar is gone so that we don't see that again. And I don't think No Name Team is going to be missing the Huskar. It didn't particularly work out too well for them in game number 1, so yeah, so Huskar out of the game for now. Queen of Pain is going to be their pickup. They ran that last game. They're comfortable on it, and despite losing the game, Queen of Pain did do quite a bit of work, and I mean, Bunny Kirby got those 2 solo kills on the mid lane against the Invokers, so definitely their Queen of Pain worked for them, and we'll see how they run it in this game. They've got a lot more of an aggressive... they've got a lot more of an aggressive lineup at this point. They've got the Undying, they've got the Dazzle, they've got the Queen of Pain. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see a Brood pick here next. And then some sort of a brawly carry, like a Juggernaut or... I'm trying to think of something else. Even like a Chaos Knight or something crazy like that. Something that can just kind of fight early on. A Gyrocopter would actually work pretty well too. Something that can just kind of fight as 4. Yeah, there's a Gyrocopter, so it works really well with their team. They've got the AoE slows now. They've got the Heal Bomb on the zombies. They've got the Queen of Pain to do some extra magic nuke damage. And so I think this setup, as 4 right now, could do a lot of work. And I would not be surprised to see a Brood pickup in the next phase, especially considering this new Ancient Apparition pickup. You know, there's 2 heals on the side of No Name Team right now, so they're relying on heals just a little bit, so that Ancient Apparition is going to do quite a bit of work. But AA does just evaporate when there's a Brood in the vicinity. I mean, a Brood walks forward, throws a nuke and a couple auto attacks, and the AA is dead with no chance of any retribution. So that might be something we see get picked up if it is not banned out in that last banning phase there. But ASDF thinking very carefully about what they want to run here. I'm kind of curious as well. I actually wouldn't hate a Phantom Assassin here, to be honest. They've got the kind of tusk to keep her safe if anything gets too out of hand. Gyrocopter doesn't like building an MKB until a lot later, so she's going to get a lot of use out of that evasion. And she combos really well with the Ancient Apparition now because the Chilling Touch can be applied to the daggers. So something to think about in their draft right now, but they're taking very careful consideration, and it is going to be an Alchemist. I'm interested. I think this Alchemist is probably going to be mid. It matches up pretty damn well against the Queen of Pain. I mean, Quap, she can dagger down the Alchemist and just kind of abuse him a little bit, but she can't ever fully brawl him because if she blinks forward to get a scream off or something, he just starts charging his stun and just kills her with the Acid Spray. And the Acid Spray has such a huge radius now that it's hard to last hit as a ranged hero without stepping into the acid yourself. So Alchemist holds his own pretty well in the mid lane. I'm curious to see what the safe lane pickup will be for ASDF then. But this could be another change up here as... Alright. So No Name Team throwing in that last pick Ember Spirit. I'm curious to see where that ends up. They'll probably be flexible with their lanes. I mean, if they see the Alchemist go mid, they might stick the Ember Spirit on top of it. Of course, the Acid Spray, I believe it's magical damage despite reducing your armor. And so Ember Spirit can just kind of turn on his shield and stand in the Acid Spray and not really care. So that might be a really good matchup for him. The Queen of Pain as well could go mid, but the Ember Spirit goes safe lane, but then where does the Gyrocopter go? Gyro might go towards the off lane, like they might go in aggro lane with the Undying, Dazzle, Gyro. I really don't know. They've got a lot of flexibility in their lanes right now, so it'll be interesting to see what they pull out come game time. But the Slark is going to be the pickup for ASDF, and I gotta say, I don't like their draft all that much. I mean, it feels okay, but they've, like I said, that just the laning potential from No Name Team at the moment, it's just so strong, and they've got really good team fight. Like I said, they have huge AoE, and ASDF, they just kind of don't have that in the at the moment. I mean, they've got a little bit of team fight with the Darkseer, Ancient Apparition, if they can land that Wombo, but their carries don't really feed into that. Alchemist is about the minus armor, but they don't have a lot of other physical damage. Slark does really good pickoffs, but he needs somebody else to help him out a little bit. Maybe they get the Ice Blast, but at the moment, I feel that the draft is in the favor of No Name Team. So we'll see what they manage to do with it as this game gets going on. But I think ASDF is really counting on just snowballing the hell out of this Alchemist and Slark. And Eleanor has picked up the Alchemist, so we know it's going to be an Alch mid and a Slark safe lane. But yeah, I think they need to get off to an amazing start, get themselves a couple quick kills, and just kind of take over the game in a fashion that No Name Team just can't deal with. Because otherwise, I think if it gets to late game, No Name Team has way too potent a team to deal with. But anyways, let's introduce the teams. Once again, we got Yellow Swag Rico. He's going to be taking that Slark down towards the bottom lane. SNE on, or, oh yeah, SNE, did I introduce him last game, or did they switch out a player? I don't know. SNE on the Ancient Apparition. He's going to be going down there as well. Eleanor on the Alchemist. Rilke on the Tusk. And over on the Darkseer is going to be Iraj. So it looks like they're actually going to run or I think they're expecting an aggro lane and they're going to dodge it, which would be a correct assumption here. As Bunny Kirby is taking the Ember Spirit and they find Iraj. He is Dunskies. Goes for a quick surge level and tries to run away, but the Undying catches him with a decay on the backline there. So not only does the Darkseer not have Ion Shell for the lane, but he is going to die right off the bat, which is very unfortunate. So, quick kill out there by No Name Team, and they're happy to get that. Dreams is going to be playing the Dazzle. We've got Louis Simon on the wow, I'm losing words here. Louis Simon on the Undying. Streetlight going to be taking the Gyrocopter, and Solfu on the Queen of Pain. They're coming down to bottom. They look like they want to brawl, but the Chilling Touch is there. I don't think you want to fight against that. And Alchemist grabs himself a Bounty Rune right off the bat. So that's going to be a nice, quick, and easy bottle for Alk. And of course, he does have that extra bit of XP to give him the advantage in the lane. Get that Acid Spray up nice and quick. Get that up there. And boom. Ooh, Ancient Apparition getting caught out in the jungle here, and the Rocket Barrage is going to wear him down. Is he going to get caught by the second barrage, though? This is the question. Streetlight chasing into the trees here, loses sight for a little bit, but the Undying goes ahead and steals that kill with the decay. So 2 kills to Undying in less than a minute, and that's the way you do it. Bunny Kirby moving forward on Eleanor here, but he's going to take a lot of damage from these creeps. This is actually really dangerous for him, and he walks away at just the right time, but the Alchemist does have a salve to his name, and actually Ember Spirit does as well, so not something he really needs to worry about. Both heroes going to drop really low and then bounce their way back. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Queen of Pain starting off the game nice and early again. He got a level 2 kill in game number 1, and he's done it again in game number 2. As he's off to a really good start. Picks off that Alchemist, or the Alchemist, sorry, the Darkseer. Wow. Words are not my friend right now, but yeah, wow, just superbly played, and this combo right here with the Darkseer, he could probably, oh yeah, no mana, I was going to say, you could probably just blink past these creeps and start attacking, but maybe a little bit dangerous. Bottle and Boots now up on the Alchemist, so he's off to the good start that he wants. He's got 12 last hits to his name, but the Ember Spirit, he's really brawly. He's ready to fight, but only 300 gold in the bank and no bottle to speak of, so this lane is going to get significantly weaker for Bunny Kirby as he just doesn't have any resources to continue fighting. Meanwhile, Alchemist finds himself an Illusion Rune, not the bounty that he wanted, but there is a Bounty Rune bottom that Tusk might hold for him. No, Tusk is just going to take it, and I actually would have held that. I think that's probably worth it for the Alk to go for a bit of a Yogg down there, a bit of a Yogg. Gonna go for a Yogg, boys. Bottom lane, Slark's trying to farm up against the Gyrocopter here, and he's actually doing a pretty good job of it. 12-2 to the Gyrocopter's 6-2. Gyro, of course, spent a little bit of extra time roaming around looking for that kill on the Ancient Apparition, but for now, Slark is in the lead, and as is his Alchemist. So, like I said, ASDF really looking to just kind of snowball out of control in this game, and if they can get those early core items up on the Alk and the Slark, that's going to be the way for them to do it. Moves forward, drops down that Acid Spray, and is going to start working away on the creeps here. Doing a pretty good job at abusing out this Ember Spirit, and throws out a stun, and that pops off Ember Spirit's shield. Actually, wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, the shield just wore off, I guess. Meanwhile, holy hell, Louis Salmon is on a rampage here. He's got himself 5 kills in the first 3 minutes of the game on Undying. That is never something you want to see. He's got his arcane boots up already, which is going to be the sustain this lane needs to keep itself going. And just what a disaster. I don't know if ASDF snowballed in thinking they could find a kill or something, but that got turned around on them so quickly. And the Undying just stacking up insane amounts of decay stacks. I think he had 6 or 7 decay stacks. And, of course, that Tombstone level 2 does some work. Meanwhile, mid lane, solo kill. The Bunny Kirby finds himself a kill onto the Alchemist there. Actually, okay, sorry, I had a moment of realization when I was saying that Queen of Pain got a solo kill last game. Queen of Pain did. It was not the same player, though. Solfu was playing on the Razor last game, whereas Eleanor was playing the Queen of Pain. So, was a bit of a role reversal there, but it's weird because they're using the exact same cosmetics, so it was hard for me to tell that it was somebody else. But anyways, is Alchemist going to get the return kill here? All he has to do is fire off 1 more auto attack, and he does. So, looks like Bunny Kirby just kind of stuck around a little bit too long. Oh, not Eleanor, Bunny Kirby. Yeah. Meanwhile, Brawl on the bottom lane, they're going in underneath the tower. They've got the Tombstone drop down, and they're going to be able to turn that back around. Tusk gets the kill on Louis Simon, and that is going to be 414 gold in the pocket of the Tusk. But meanwhile, the Gyrocopter cleans up, gets himself a few kills, and he is now 106. So despite not getting any of those early kills, he is still off to a grand old start, 1,300 gold in the bank, and that's going to be the first couple kills that ASDF picks up for themselves. Stun getting channeled out here by Eleanor, and he does not have anywhere to throw it. Ends up stunning himself, and the Queen of Pain blinks forward. There's going to be the Sonic Wave, and they bring down the Alchemist. Beautiful rotation there, knowing that they could do that, and super well played here by Bunny Kirby. Seeing that that stun was getting channeled off, shackles him on the low ground, and then runs up to the high ground so there's no vision to throw that stun. And just beautifully played. They jump on the Alchemist after that, find themselves the kill, and this is not looking good for ASDF at the moment. No Name Team has claimed themselves a Tier 1 tower already, and are already up by 8 kills at the 6-minute mark.
Regeneration.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Stun getting charged out here. They're going to throw it onto Bunny Kirby, and he's going to move forward, but nothing else to kind of lock down that Ember Spirit and do it any more damage. So he's going to bottle up and move his way back on to the Acid Spray and not worry a damn thing about it. But Eleanor ready to brawl, throws out the some auto attacks, and with that Acid Spray down, he does a lot of damage in auto attacks. So Ember Spirit still has to be worried about that, even if he has that Flame Guard up. Top lane looks like they want to brawl here as Solfu. He's going to blink away, but they've got the Snowball to chase it in. And is the burst damage from the Tusk enough? He needs 1 auto attack too. There's a heal out from the Dazzle, and the Slark is going to hold them in place, so Solfu will not go down. Sorry, Slark is going to be held in place. Realize how weird that sounded afterwards. 1 auto attack flies out from the Dazzle after that decay, and Tusk is going to drop. Zombies chasing in onto Yola Swag Rico here, but he walks out of that just fine. With the Tombstone, though, they're going to hit this tower, and they're going to hit it hard. Good chance this tower goes down on this wave here. They've got themselves a siege creep. They've got the burst damage into the zombies to deal with the incoming wave from the Dire side. So very likely this tower goes down, and we see 2 tier 1s dropped very, very quickly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Eleanor throws out the stun, making sure to just get rid of it before the Ember can run it away, because if Ember had gotten up to the high ground there, that could have been trouble. But knowing that Eleanor's ultimate was down, Bunny Kirby goes for a very aggressive play, walks right underneath the tower, gets the chains, and does enough damage to be able to walk out in time. Beautifully played there, and the Dazzle was there to kind of assist him, make sure that he got out in case he got stunned or locked down or there was a TP rotation or whatever. So just very smart, very safe plays, and No Name Team just off to a fantastic start. I don't think they could ask for better in this game at the moment, and they're just knocking down tower after tower, hero after hero, and ASDF really needs to regroup and figure out how they're going to get themselves back into this game. They're grouping up on bottom, trying to push down this tower, but they just don't have a lot of push power right now. Iraj and Yola Swag, they just don't do a lot of damage to towers. They can clear creep waves relatively easily, but they just can't get the buildings. Alchemist brawling in on the mid lane, and it's going to go in on the Undying right away. They're trying to work away at the Tombstone, but they just cannot do it as the Ember Spirit jumps in, locks him down. 3 kills go in the way of No Name Team, and the Tusk jumps in to get himself a kill on the Gyro, but was it really worth it as he goes down, and this tier 2 or tier 1 faces even more pressure. 17-3 at 10 minutes. I'm almost ready to say that I wouldn't be surprised to see a quick 13 to 15 minute GG. I mean, it's starting to get to a point where ASDF are in so far over their heads that they just cannot bring this back. And they do have 2 really good recovery heroes. The Slark and the Alchemist farm very well if they're given a little bit of space. But the thing is that ASDF do not have good space creating heroes on the rest of their team. Tusk is okay, but not when he's comboed up with a Darkseer and an AA. Like, these heroes are just not enough damage to take advantage of what Tusk offers. And the team fight that these two offer, it's never going to come online. I mean, the Ancient Apparition, he's level 3 right now. He's not going to have an Ice Blast for the next 4 minutes. And by then, that was when I was saying it might kind of hit the singularity point at which nothing can save us, but they're going to pop out a stun. There goes a snowball. It is going to land onto Bunny Kirby, but they're just going to turn this right back around, and Rilke's going to drop right away, backing back, brings down the Undying, but a 1-for-1 trade in a gank this big, that's a huge investment for almost nothing in return. So they get a kill, but does it really matter? I don't think so.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower.
This is just the kind of worst game to play as an Alchemist. I mean, I know there were a couple solo kills, but when the games get this brawly this quickly and you just kind of see these... Oh, he stunned himself right as he's going in. They're looking for Soulfu, but a very poorly executed gank lets Soulfu walk right out of that one. And no bottle charges, no mana, no blink, no nothing. But still just walks away from it because it's kind of how that played out. Alchemist starting to charge up a stun though. He sees that Bunny Kirby's there, and well, Kirby jumps away to his Remnant as quick as he can. That stun is going to catch up with him and nail him right down here. Does a little bit of damage, but whatever. He shrugs it off, and they're going to move in towards the tier 1 tower and bring that down. Tower drops, Ember Spirit gets the last hit and jumps right forward aggressively onto the AA, just brings him down. Such a fragile hero. And Ember Spirit, has a 7 level advantage on him? A 6 level advantage. So, yeah, things looking very, very bleak for ASDF right now. Not the team we saw in game number 1, and like I said, I think we have the draft to blame. Just, they had very poor laning matchups, and they had very poor team fight potential. Like, their ability to rotate and fight as 3, 4, or even 5 is incredibly weak, and they just have nothing to deal with this lineup, who I think is better at all stages of the game. So, I mean, it didn't help that Lewis Simon got off to a very aggressive start with 5 kills before he took a death of his own. He got the first blood, then he found a second kill in the jungle, and then he got a triple kill against the tri-lane. It was just, it's been a disaster for ASDF, and they're going to stick in this game, and they're going to stick it out, but things are starting to get a little bit ugly. And there we go. Alchemist blinks forward. He's going to try to bring down that Gyrocopter, but he gets graved up. Beautiful play by the Dazzle, and Streetlight, okay, he's going to drop eventually. Looks like the Alchemist got that kill. Yeah, Alchemist got the kill with the Acid Spray. But chaos ensues as everything is going down. We got the wall, the ice shards, and everything separating up these heroes. And it's only going to be a 2-for-2 exchange. So I think that does favor ASDF. They got 2 very key heroes, and you know, they lost an Alchemist, which is a big deal. You never want your Alchemist to die, and he has died a lot this game. But the Darkseer is kind of inconsequential. If you trade the Darkseer for the Quap, I think any other day you're pretty happy with that. But that fight was, It's good for the position they're in, I'll say that. But it's definitely not a good fight overall. Alchemist ready to go for a bit of a jump here, but he might have to back out of that one. Okay, yeah, he throws it from the trees and will keep himself away before he gets caught out. He's realized that he's never going to get that kind of Radiance farming build online at the moment, and so he's just gone for the Blink Dagger. He says, alright, well, let's try to fight as much as we can. Let's get that early brawl going, and maybe if I find a few kills, I can start building for the late game. But at the moment, he's got the Blink Dagger, and it'll probably be a Medallion next. Anyways, Gyrocopter ulti going to go down, dealing a ton of damage. That's 2 heroes done right off the bat. Snowball is going to bring him forward into the Dragon's Den, and Rilke, he's going to drop very shortly thereafter. 3 are dead, and the tier 2 is going to fall pretty shortly thereafter as well. The Ember Spirit's just out of control. 7, 1, and 6. He's got a good portion of his Battle Fury already, and the boots of travel to boot. Aha! Tier 3 going to face a little bit of pressure here. I don't imagine they're going to throw much more than a couple auto attacks at it, but yeah. They're going to back away for now. Slark is trying to farm up the top lane, but he's just incredibly poor, and there's a TP to the tier 2 tower that's only the Dazzle, though, so they need one more to maybe push him off, but Swag decides it's time for him to walk away, and leaves probably going to go farm the jungle, maybe TP out to another lane. Not sure how he's feeling about the scenario. Alright, stun getting channeled up here by the Alchemist. He's going to blink forward onto the Gyrocopter. Will he be able to bring him down? I don't think so. The Ember Spirit coming in from behind and just going absolutely ham. Eleanor realizes he's in trouble. He's got to get out of there, and they bring down the Tusk as well. So Tusk and the Ancient Apparition dropping in that fight. These heroes are so underleveled, it's not even funny. Ancient Apparition at level 5. Wait, where's the hero level? There we go, that's the menu. Yeah, I mean, you look at this. Next closest hero is 8, and most of the cores are 10 or above, and AA just could not get his ultimate. And I think this is why this hero is kind of falling out of favor in the meta right now. It's just, it's so hard to get him to come online because he's so squishy, especially against all these physical damage cores that I was talking about. I mean, I described this during the other draft, but you see heroes like Slardar getting picked up a lot, Tusk getting picked up a lot, the Ember Spirit, very popular, Shadow Fiend, and all of those heroes, it only takes like a spell and a half to just kill Ancient Apparition. I think he needs a bit of a strength, a base strength boost, and maybe even a strength per level boost as well. I don't think his stats are terrible. 1.4 strength per level. Doesn't say what his base is, but yeah, 1.4 per level is pretty poor. It's kind of average for an intelligence hero, but AA just has such a hard time staying alive nowadays.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The swarm of no-name team comes in on the top lane. Gyrocopter has that S and Y, chipping away at the tower. Ember Spirit pretty close to his Battle Fury here. Just needs the Broadsword, which is another 1,200 gold away. And getting that last hit on the tower puts him a third of the way to that. So he's going to have that up pretty soon. Looks like the Queen of Pain started out looking for an Orchid and then just decided, screw it, I'm going to go for an Ags, and that's what she's going to do. So on her way to the Aghanim Scepter right now. And yeah, things looking very, very grim for ASDF. Slark is spotted out on bottom, but he's going to be able to TP himself out way before that Tusk can get over there to interrupt him. So takes off, pulls a creep wave, just kind of interrupts the bottom lane just a little bit, but Gyro is having... Yeah, he doesn't care. Gyro continues to farm on bottom, going to continue making gold and getting ahead. I mean, you see the net worth charts on the side here. Every hero except for Dazzle on No Name Team is ahead of every hero on ASDF. And considering that your 3-position offlaner is higher than the mid lane Alchemist, that is that says something huge about the draft. So, or maybe not about the draft, but about how this game has played out so far. Motions on the map are asking the Gyrocopter to come mid, so it looks like they're ready to just kind of start abusing high ground. Not worrying about Roshan or anything just yet. I think they feel like they have the advantage. They can just walk up there with this Crimson Guard, drop the Tombstone, and just start chipping away at towers. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Tower's going to start to get worked on. And there's the weave from the Dazzle. The Ice Blast is going to hit on 2, and there's the stun hitting on 2 as well. So Soulfu actually drops pretty damn low, but the other 2 cores, Bunny Kirby and Streetlight, they're going to continue working away with not a care in the world, and this tier 3 tower is going to go down. There is a zoning ulti out there by the Gyrocopter. They're going to back off for couple seconds as they wait for that glyph to wear off, but this is definitely a broken high ground here. And ASDF gonna go in for their last brawl of the game. It looks like there's the wall. Do they have a vacuum? No, the Darkseer, he gets blown up almost instantly. Sulfu, he is running on gas. Will he be able to get out of here? He's trying. He's got the blink in just a second, and that shallow grave will keep him alive. TP out from the Alchemist keeps him from dying. And oh, Ice Blast catches Sulfu. Maybe this is a kill? Looks like it might. Is there a shallow grave? No, there's no shallow grave. Oh, last tick would have killed the Queen of Pain, but it does not. So she gets out of that just fine. And Ember jumps right into the, right into the Dragon's Den. Gets himself a kill on the Ancient Apparition and forces Eleanor to stun himself. They could have actually maybe turned that back around if you really wanted to. But respawn timers are so short at this stage that ASDF is kind of able to just continue defending out this siege. But how long will that last is the question, as we've still got 3 heroes and a tombstone up here ready to go, and the melee Rax is starting to take some damage. Bunny Kirby realizes he should probably be focusing the range, as that's the one that does not regen, and that's exactly what he does. But ASDF is 5, and it looks like they're ready to fight. Ice Blast comes out, does catch onto Bunny Kirby, and there's the Unstable Concoction to match, but Kirby just doesn't care. So Streetlight and Sulfu have gone back. They've refreshed their health and mana pools and their items and whatnot. Queen of Pain has picked herself up a Aghanim Scepter. So No Name Team is ready to fight. They're just kind of waiting for the moment, waiting for the wave, and of course for Gyrocopter to arrive to fight as well. Alright, they're going in. Unstable Concoction flies out on Bunny Kirby to kind of just stall him up for a little bit. But Rax taking some serious damage here, and there is no glyph to speak of. Ice Blast is going to be pretty decent, lands on 2. But there's a call down to just kind of keep them zoned out. Queen of Pain blinks forward, but we'll just walk back away. Bunny Kirby going pretty ham right now. Maybe wants to get himself away from this. And there's a vacuum back into an Unstable Concoction. A really good combo there. Can they do this? ASDF trying to turn this back around. They get the Ember Spirit, but Lucy Mon... Oh no, he's going to drop. Queen of Pain blinks forward very aggressively, looking for blood, but the Alchemist survives the initial burst and will turn it back around to get a kill. Now the melee racks are going to go down, but that is 3 kills going back to ASDF. So No Name Team getting a little bit too aggressive there, and then trying to follow it up after the other heroes died. It was just a little bit of a messy engagement, but they do end up taking a couple kills that'll maybe gain them some ground. Link up on the Alchemist, and wow, with the vacuum, they bring 2 more down. That's going to be a full 5-man wipe. ASDF has done it. They lost their rack, so I can't call it a defense, but they've gotten the revenge kills they needed, and Alchemist looks like he might be back in this game. He's got himself a Sange, he's got the Medallion of Courage, and we'll probably upgrade that to a Solar Crest relatively soon. I think what No Name Team really need right now is to just kind of not play passive, but just dominate the map and just farm. And you know, you can take over this entire area of the map, take over the enemy jungle, and then go do yourself a Roshan before you go for the next push. Because I mean, they were totally confident in that last push, and it worked out fairly well for them. They got those racks. The only misplay I feel was the Ember making that huge dive across here. He was sitting here hitting the racks, and then he was like, oh, an Ancient Apparition, and he made the huge jump in, didn't have a way back out, and as he was trying to walk back, the Undying went in, Undying got bursted, and then Queen of Pain saw an opportunity, jumped forward, got bursted, and so it was just some very sloppy pickoffs one after one, but they're doing that now as they move over towards the Roshan pit, and oh my god, that smell. My cat has the rankest farts on the planet, and just happened to drop one as he walked by. I am... it's a little bit hard to breathe right now, so I apologize for the sounds I'm making, but... oh my god. Alright, fight looking like it's going to break out here. There's a smoke. They're going to see this high ground if... yeah, they know that the Slark's there. Will they be able to bring him down? He leaps away, but he gets leashed in by that Ember Spirit. There's a huge vacuum right on top of the Ice Shard, so this combo might be good enough to finish the fight, but the Ember Spirit jumps away and avoids the Ice Blast. Gyrocopter doing a good amount of damage before he falls. Sulfo in the back line looking for the Ancient Apparition. Will he be able to bring him down? He does. 3 for 1 is the current exchange, and Undying keeping himself safe for now and does get a kill on the Tusk in the end. So 4 heroes down for 1, and I don't know if they can go into Roche. No, they might be able to. They need the Ember Spirit there, though, I think. He does some pretty good physical damage. Oh, I'm sorry for the noises. Wow. Yeah, I did that whole last team fight on a single breath, and glad I didn't have to breathe again. Oh. Interesting choice here. No Name Team, despite getting a really good wipe, have not opted to go to finish off that Roshan, and instead have decided to push, which seems like an odd choice. Usually that's a good choice, but considering how early in the game we are, the death timers are so low that ASDF is all back up and ready to fight again. So No Name Team is going to have to be really smart about how they take this, and Dreams is ending up in a lot of trouble right now. There's a huge Sonic Wave that catches a bunch, but they're not falling quite yet, and that Crimson Guard's starting to do work. Dazzle's going to be the first casualty of this fight, and looks like Louis Simon is probably going to drop as well. Making his way into the trees, might actually be able to TP out if he doesn't get cold-feeted up there, but Queen of Pain goes back in on the backline, wants to finish off that Ancient Apparition, and it looks like she might. A couple more auto attacks, and the Cold Feet is not going to latch, actually, so she's got to blink away. Slark not going to be able to catch her. Meanwhile, they're chasing in on the Gyrocopter very valiantly, but the Vacuum will bring him back in for another kill. So, oh, Ember Spirit, he's here and ready to go, though. He's got the shield, not using it quite yet. There we go. Gets the chains out onto Rilke, and there pops off the shield to get that little bit of extra damage, and the Tusk goes down. I have no clue what the actual death toll of that entire fight was, because it was so scattered. It was 1 kill here, 1 kill here, 1 kill here. But I think it ended up pretty even in the end. Either way, even just this little bit of tower damage to ASDF right now is very damaging to them, as they've got their backs against the wall. They need to be taking, like, I know it's not realistic to expect of them with their net worth disadvantage as great as it is, but they really need to be taking like 5-for-nothing fights every time right now, or else this game is just going to slowly slip away from them as No Name Team moves forward and chips out buildings, and then moves back, and then chips out buildings, and then moves back, and then takes Roshan, etc., etc. So they're going to have to be very conscious about what they give up for every engagement they take. Alchemist just farming up on the top lane. Has got that Solar Crest that I was talking about earlier, and 3,400 gold in the bank. I'm curious to see what he does with this. Almost looks like he might be saving for that Radiance, but Radiance is not exactly the build that I would go when you're this far into a game. You kind of buy Radiance to farm as on the Alchemist. You kind of want to play that Naga build and just kind of take over the map, and you just don't have an opportunity to do that when you're this late into the game. So maybe he just turns this Sanj into a full-on Silver Edge, and then he goes for the Invis stuns with the Unstable Concoction. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyways, zoning LC there by the Gyrocopters, try to see if he can cancel out some blinks, keep the Darkseer from maybe jumping in on the backline. But meanwhile, Ember Spirit finds himself a kill on the AA on the backlines, which is going to be huge for this fight. Snowball keeping the Alk alive for just a second, as he did. It looks like he stunned himself there. But Ember Spirit has a haste rune. He's going to be able to walk away from pretty much whatever he wants here. The Darkseer has gone down somewhere else in the fight. I'm not exactly sure where. Slark jumps forward, but he's going to get caught. Ember Spirit finds that kill. Tusk is going to get dropped as well. Will they be able to find the Alchemist? I think maybe? I don't know. The Ember could probably do it if he really wants, but he's just going to back up. They've got no reason to pursue that hard. They can just go down tier 3, and yeah, actually, there it is. GG well played is called. The Aegis on No Name Team was just too much. And actually, I'm surprised this game went as long as it did. And when there's cash on the line, when it's a big game like this, you never want to let it go too easy, but at the same time, their lanes got schooled so hard. It was really difficult for them to make the kind of comeback they wanted. And I mean, this you know, it just feels like they didn't kind of have a coherent vision for their draft. They really wanted some heroes, and they gave up others for it. The Tusk Darkseer combo, like I talked about, it didn't really do what they needed it to. And the Alchemist, he got ganked over and over. The Ember Spirit was a really good counter pick to that. So That's going to be it. We're going to head into game number 3 very shortly here, 1-1 in the AD2L Grand Finals between No Name Team and Team ASDF. This is a best of 5, so we are looking at a potential 3 games more, but stick around. It's going to be a good series. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.